SCARZ here. SCARZ do not like this map. At least they certainly haven't shown that they like it so far throughout the playoffs and the group stage of APAC North. So this is the best chance that Kinotrope have got. However, we do have one problem. I've heard that there is actually a substitution in the Kinotrope roster today.
Oh.
They're going to be playing without, I'm not sure exactly which player it is. We'll get confirmation of that in a sec. But so I have heard we've lost either Kawao or a Caillou, I believe, which is going to really make things a lot more difficult for this. Oh, okay. Apparently, the PC problems that were going to force Kinotrope to have a substitute have actually been fixed. So
oh, lovely.
everything is fine now, but yeah, I actually heard the call yesterday that one of these players from Kinotrope wouldn't be able to be loading up into the server for today. So thank goodness that they got their 5-man roster, because I actually have a feeling that they are going to be the favorite team in this matchup.
Oh, really? You reckon over a best of 3 with Lair, Border, and Cafe into SCARZ, if they'll actually be favored to take it?
I kind of dismissed this game already when I heard that there was going to be a substitution. I thought, okay, well, it's going to be SCARZ.
Fair.
But, I mean, looking at the maps, right, I know that Border is pretty good for SCARZ, but I think Kinotrope are going to be the more favored team on both map 1 and map 3.
Yeah.
Particularly Lair, like I said, they've hidden this. SCARZ are not particularly good on it. And what's more, of course, we have that recent head-to-head between these two teams. SCARZ really struggled against Kinotrope. So I think this is the time for the up-and-comers. I think SCARZ have had a target on their back for a while. They're going to have to play defensively. And, of course, that mirrors what's happening in the server right now, starting on the defensive Lair.
The mirror, the clash, a bunch of different things to play behind. And Kinotrope, they're a team that I quite enjoy watching. I started casting them last year in Stage 2 with you, James, and they have a lot of fun, small mini executes on the attacking side, a lot of different pocket strats, different operators they'd like to bring out. And I don't know if you guys know or follow Kava and his YouTube channel, but he posts a bunch of different small C4 lineups, drones, tricks, angles, all these small tips and tricks, essentially. And I actually watch those myself, often to stay on track on all the things you can do at the highest level. And we see Kava trying to introduce those elements into pro play. Speaking of Kinotrope, they actually get the opening kill onto that mirror operator that we saw earlier. The C4 in the pocket of Aegida was already spent, so at least that doesn't really go anywhere. But still, this means Kinotrope early advantage while playing the Blitz and the Ying. Very aggressive operators that of course benefit from having less guns facing their direction as they want to try and go for an execute later on.
It's pretty expected to see Yukiz finding those opening kills. He is the top-rated player for Kinotrope, 15 opening kills so far in this stage. That's +4. SCARZ, on the other hand, they have quite a dangerous lineup. Players like Washoy and Choppy have been in form at the moment. It's Choppy at the moment who's holding his position with the Warden. The Candela comes out, won't affect that Warden. Shoddy in hand. He might be baited here. Akayu, meanwhile, is going deep into the side, but the guard break comes through. The fire is making things awkward, but he does secure that kill regardless. He has the diffuser now. And Choppy, on these lobby stairs, is one of the last defenders remaining for SCARZ.
Curious what's happening here. The plant is not going down right now. They're pushing the hallways instead. Gets a freebie. Gets a second. Okay. The Warden shotgun stands no chance. He was worried about the rotate as well as the door. And with no crossfire established from SCARZ, Kinotrope, they take that first round pretty damn effortlessly.
Yeah, that they do. A big 2K from Acerola on that Ying. Despite having a Warden on the board, that Ying still gets in, dodges through it, and finds the 2K on that backstab. Very hard to figure out how Kinotrope are going to be attacking when you got a Blitz coming in through one direction, a Ying from another, everyone from Kinotrope working together, but split. It's the good old split theory. That's what it is. And man, if they don't look pretty damn good. Acerola as well. Love to see him really finding his feet on his new team. Of course, it's been a while since he joined Kinotrope, but he is the newest addition to this roster, and he's looking like he's found quite a nice home here.
A big thing I'm looking for is SCARZ. They have a really good success story in the opening kill department. However, they are finding themselves, you know, 5th place, I believe, overall in the standings. Oh, 6th place, sorry. Dead last in groups to make it to the playoffs. And they are now, of course, in the lower bracket as well. So while they're having great success on opening kills, their conversion rate into round victories isn't looking all that great. What this means is even when SCARZ get the first pick, they play 5 versus 4, they can't consistently make that into a round victory and leverage that to their advantage. In that first opening round, we saw them lose the first player and start 4 versus 5, and it became pretty one-sided. So SCARZ, really important they hold on strong in the early stages. If they go for an aggressive swing, make sure they do it together and gain some value in that round. They can't just take a 50-50 gunfight, die, and then that's it. This comes down to which team has learned the most. And when we talk about them, it's about the fundamentals. Who can play better together, make the proper decisions, and not fall apart in the mid stages of the round. I want to see SCARZ problem solve better today than they have so far this entire stage.
So loose roam here for SCARZ. Ooh, that's a nice long angle here. The cutoff. A little spray from Choppy is all that's needed. But it's not a favored gunfight, so he's not going to contest it. Meanwhile, Kinotrope has started their march on down. The Blackbeard makes things a bit difficult, and Mau does find that long angle onto Choppy. Really good reply, though. Rek needed to find that headshot. Blackbeard is down. Still one shield remaining in that blitz.
It might have been a case there where Rek was like, guys, I'm falling back, I'm staying alive. Oh, Choppy died. I guess I'm going for a swing first, and then he falls back shortly after. It's a good one. Taking down Blackbeard, losing the Fenrir. I'm going to say a worthy trade. No clear favor. But as I said earlier, Kinotrope, they like their mini executes, their pocket strats. They got their Aurora as well as the Blitz. That's going to be the bomb site execute, right? Blitz can go for a plant. Aurora can close those bomb site doors. But before we get there, they also have the Ram as well as the Dokkaebi. Of course, gotta get that verticality done. All Boogie Jones has already been used for the Ram. Yet I don't see a ton of vert by the bomb sites. That's a bit concerning.
They did the top floor mostly, I think. So yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It's completely, the vert was just for that roam clear. At least they found that pick replying onto Rek, one of the most dangerous players on this SCARZ roster. When he's got that Goyo with the 1.5 on the Vector, definitely a player you need to take down. Still a lot of util for this late round. We've got impacts, we've got a nitro cell, we've got gas, and we've got some Kiba barriers in pocket as well for Gator.
And no phone call. Mao just spent it earlier to get that kill onto Rek essentially, so yes, Dokkaebi will be guns up, but no phone call. Fire going out, Toxic Babes, plant attempted, C4 in response. Good deny here from SCARZ.
Yeah, they've kept Kinotrope at bay, but thankfully for Kino, they left this a little bit of time in the bank, so even though that was a failed execute, they still had another 20 seconds to work with. Time is ticking away now. There's no second chances. They have to execute. Desperate from Carwow goes down. There is one kill though. Acerola's gone big before being traded on back. Mau versus Fish, and I don't think he's going to have time. He's going to be forced to plan 6 seconds after the timer goes to 0. It's an easy kill for Fish-like, and SCARZ on their first defense round, they are successful on the basement.
The lack of work kinda came back to bite them. There's no real easy angles for Kinotrope to utilize there. I mean, maybe they can use a DMR of the Dokkaebi to break some of that floor, but I think you just want those nice long lines of sight. The downside of bringing the Ram is you only get 3 Boogie Drones to destroy the floor. When you bring the Sledge or the Bug, yes, it's a bit slower, it's a bit more risky down to a C4, but you get a quote-unquote unlimited amount of soft destruction. You quite rarely run out of your utility. But it's a good roam clear. They got the 1-for-1. They get a follow-up kill. Numbers advantage. But it's that basement bomb site. When you're up against Goyo Fire, Toxic Babes, C4, and you don't have verticality, you don't have that hatch, I don't even think 1 numbers advantage is going to be enough for them. SCARZ, they definitely look better in that second round. Still a bit sloppy in the early game, right? Choppy falling apart very early. Kind of dying on the roam. No way back towards the bomb site. But it's a good response from Rek with a trade. The question will come down to Kinotrope's early stages on the attack side. How consistently can they find those picks? And how consistently can they reach the bomb side? Because Lair is a map where we often see the weaker attacking sided teams kind of get stuck outside the building. It can be quite hard to get in if SCARZ want to contest you on the opening angles, like Ops Room here by the main breach. So far, SCARZ have been happy to kind of give up map control and play further by the bomb side, which worked in the second round and didn't quite do so in the first one.
It's probably my favorite bomb site on Lair, this one. It's ground floor, so many different ways that you can deny that plan on the site. Out goes a breach on the main wall. Nice and early for Kino. But of course, we tend to see teams deny from above. That's why we've got a lot of players on this top floor. What's the way you're going to deal with that, Kino? Looks like the black bit of UKIZ once again in the building, looking for a few scalps. But he's going to be met with a lot of contention. Ayagator, though, feeling a bit of pressure here, sees that Blackbeard, sees the breach outside. It's going to force him on back.
You almost always see teams play Sense here to try and get the plant down, just go for a bomb site rush, essentially. But I like this approach instead. A rare map roam clear where they're contesting top floor. If they get top floor control in this attack, it's kind of like playing border ventilation and workshop. You get access to the site beneath it with all the verticality, all the soft destruction, the hatch. A swing out again from the castle of Ayagator, but there's a Blackbeard, a shield facing him. Jumpy finds him out, taking Thermite down early. Although after the hard breaching has mostly been done, should be okay.
Rex should be able to find a kill there. I mean, he's in a very off angle, hidden behind the window. He might not be checked. This is a big kill opportunity here for Acerola, and he does find it. Rek needs to come through here in his hidden position. He needs to get more than one kill here, especially as Acerola has just gone absolutely nuclear. Evening up things again. Ayagator finds one. It's all up to Acerola now, and he can't get it done. SCARZ, a solid defense. That top floor could not fully be taken despite some heroics from Acerola.
Yeah, they stick around. SCARZ certainly had an attempt there if they wanted to drop down the hatch, play downstairs, play by the side, but they say, you know what, we have numbers. We got the Fenrir mines, the nearsightedness, and they had Reg in a great corner by Museum Window, who was completely unnoticed the entire round, waiting for him to get a kill. He finds the final one. He confirms the round for his team. It very much looks like, yes, that opening pick, so important for both teams. SCARZ opting to ban the Blitz here. I think it was between the Blitz and the Blackbeard probably, if anything. Just get that shield removed, get the utility, the entry capabilities. Kinotrope actually banning out the Asami. So they're prioritizing protection from SCARZ, the ability to fortify positions, deny lines of sight. Potentially Kinotrope now can play further outside the building, play longer angles, now that the keepers are gone. This does mean the Warden, Mira is still going to be in action. The Mute, which can be problematic to deal with if you play droning, for example, to get information, can be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if anything, I'm just surprised that the Mira's been left in. SCARZ like to bring it. It can be very powerful, especially if you don't bring hard counters to it. Like, these days, there are a lot of hard counters to Mira, right? Your Ashe, your Kali, even your Zero will all break the glass. You can get rid of them with the Ace Selmas as well, but often Ace ends up using most of his hard breach for the actual hard breach of the external walls on the bomb site. So, yeah, maybe there could have been a better target here, especially because these days, with how many DMRs get picked, Pengu, I feel like most people are pretty comfortable counting Azami in a lot of positions, especially on this bomb site and this map. But regardless, that's what Kinotrope elected to go with. SCARZ, on the other hand, they've let the Blackbeard through, got rid of the Blitz. Blackbeard is going to be picked here, as is the Twitch, which, speaking of mirror counters, I mean, technically is a counter, but it's so hard to get those Twitch drones in position, especially on this bomb site. Very few ways that you're going to be able to take down those mirror windows.
A little bit surprised we don't see the Ashe being picked up here, just to simplify the process.
That's a weird mirror, by the way.
Twitch can be, yeah.
I mean, like, there's no Bandit or Kaid, so this external wall should be free, more or less. It's a mute jammer, but it'd be pretty easy to clear this.
It does complicate the breaching, though, right? Because you only have 3 Selmas, and you got 3 walls, like right? The exterior wall of the bomb site, the interior wall of the bomb site, and the ops room wall as well. If one Selma charge from the Ace gets C4'd, or he misses one, or he dies before using all 3, they don't really have a way in besides the bomb site doors, which are brutal. It's just left, right, straight ahead, triple crossfire. Yes, you got a Blackbeard, but bro's only got a shield covering his front. It's not the simplest way in.
It doesn't seem to be an ops take anyway. They're actually centering around our 6th room right now with the Buck down below.
See, C4 going out, bunch of damage onto Blackbeard. If there's a second C4 follow-up or a bit of Toxic Babe damage, then he dies. This grenade could be good. No, runs away. No damage done. Toxic Bay probably stall things out. Kinotrope, the slowest attack so far. And while Buck is downstairs doing a fair bit of vertical work, he hasn't found the damage yet.
Yeah, in fact, he's just taken a bunch of damage. Fishlike is doing a good job here, dancing around the holes in the floor and the nades. Kinotrope need to play together to get rid of this player. They need to make sure that the nade comes through with the timing of the bark peeking the floor from below. But Fishlike, he's not taken even a single point of damage so far. Akayu needs to coordinate this nade with Yukiz on the bark, and Fishlike manages to escape and get back inside again. This is just a disaster for Kino. Fishlike has done so much damage, a little bit more there onto Yukiz, and eventually Aegator is the one to find that kill on that mirror from up above. Washoy comes to life with his SMG-11. It's not a good look here for Kinotrope, and a nuclear C4 from downtown more or less seals the deal for SCARZ. Carwow left alone, 1 versus 5, still outside the building. It's Sojova.
Swing with the confirmation. They're coming for him. 1, 2, 3 guys by the window. Run out by the door. They won't get the kill, but the timer runs out. SCARZ are good for 3 in a row. Kinotrope, I think they had a pretty good approach to things there, but if anything, you have to be a little bit critical of how they chose to do the verticality from the Buck combined with the Blackbeard. Often when you want to clear a player position, whether you're below or above a player, you want to do it from one end of the room to the other. You kind of sweep the person away. What happened now on is Buck is just kind of tearing the entire floor apart. The smoke is running back and forth. No one's watching him on the rotate by the door itself, so he has a lot of freedom to work. If you clear the corner, okay, you cannot be in the corner. You clear the area next to the corner, okay, you can't be here. Well, the next step is the door in the room. Blackbeard should see that. But that's when Smoke has a great counterplay, right? Tossing out the Toxic Babes to make sure that no attacker can be watching him on the door itself. He's allowed to sprint around. Then maybe Buck needs a second player downstairs to help him hold those vertical angles or something like that, because they just couldn't kill him. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. And SCARZ, well, right now on defense, they're looking very comfortable. They're playing their fundamentals well. They're playing their important player positions, and they're providing each other backup when something is becoming too much for one individual. Kinotrope just called their tactical timeout. They've had some time to discuss this upcoming round in the last half of the attacks. This is ideally where you would take the timeout, because you need more than one attacking round to have a fighting chance once you go on defense. If you can't, cut it right here, then you're gonna be like 1-5 on the half. You're gonna go defense. SCARZ are gonna clutch up one round. They're gonna rush you at some point. We don't know what's gonna happen, and then it's match point. So we really want to see Kinotrope here fight for a second round at least, but also a potential third.
I'm starting to feel a little bit silly about that call that I made early in here. It's just not been very convincing. I mean, great first round from Kino with that execute with the Ying, but ever since then, these rounds haven't been particularly close. And SCARZ, we've seen a couple of different flavors of this team over the years, and the one that we've seen recently hasn't been phenomenal. I'll be honest, like, they've been quite overshadowed, especially since Japan and Korea combined in regions. Obviously, SCARZ dominated in Japan for the longest time, but now they've got to compete with teams like FearX. Of course, let's not forget about D+ with all their Brazilian imports, let alone the competition from their own country, Kinotrope, CAG, and others. SCARZ has fallen behind, but this is a confident-looking SCARZ on Lair defense, a map that I thought they didn't play, and the stats said that they didn't like it very much. So I'm starting to be a little bit convinced Kinotrope really need to get on their bikes here. This is their map pick after all.
The downside of picking the map is, of course, you get the weaker starting side, but given that it's your map, you'd think that the prep work is good and the skill level should be high enough for you to comfortably take a couple of attacking rounds. It started off quite well for Kinotrope, but that's the thing. Like, the first round looked really promising. Last time I attacked this bomb side of basement, those boogie drones got spent elsewhere on the map, not for the bomb side verticality, and that was limiting them quite much in the late stage of the round. A little bit better so far. Kinotrope still playing quite sheltered roles, not really contesting the roam, not really pushing forward a whole lot, but they got fuse, they got glass, they got tech up their sleeve, things they want to accomplish. I like this from SCARZ with the two roamers looking to retake the roam, go for a flank. they recognize if we just get a kill or two here, they can't go for a default execute. We force into a plan B. That's what we want to force them to do.
I think SCARZ are trying to bait Kinotrope here. I think ideally, Aegator can actually like distract and maybe make Kinotrope try and hunt him. There's a drone up above. If anything, I wonder if Aegator could deliberately be in view of that drone, because they saw it on the default cam, which hasn't been taken out on the top floor. They saw there's a drone on the rafters up above. If Aegator could himself expose to it and bait Kinotrope to then go for a kill, Choppy might be able to find it, but at the moment, Kinotrope is so focused on sight, and SCARZ are not overplaying their hand here. They're just holding their positions. They can always go for a flank of the vert in the late round to deny the plant, which is likely what they're going to be going for. Meanwhile, the flashes come in, and the entries as well for Kinotrope. It's a double kill. Aegator above. He's been dismantled. Choppy finds one before he's traded on back. Unsuccessful is the retake up above for SCARZ, and Kinotrope have dominated the bomb site, leaving nothing left for the defense. But to try and have a miraculous 1v4 for Fishlike, at this point, it's barely worth even trying. He's cut off on the long angles. He's a slow operator. Fuse on the shield. The player on the vert above, forced to reload. He is so doomed. A consolation frag or two would be nice, but the round is done, and Kinotrope do, in fact, have a little bit of fire on their defensive side, even stunned out by the Nomad. Finally, Acerola puts him down. Kino get the round that they were looking for. They're second on the board for the attack half of Lair.
And there are the pocket strats. The glass, the fuse, it's very good. It's very straightforward, right? You fuse the wall to clear any sort of utility, toss in the smokes, fuse shield plants, glass covers. There is no Warden, there is no Maestro. There was no BP with line of sight where the plant was going down, and there was no C4. So it's a very simple plan attempt. SCARZ, they have now learned that if you allow Kinotrope to execute and they get to the bomb site comfortably with their 5 attacking operators, they will have something work for them. So now, I expect to see a little bit more aggression. Of course, the bomb site will be different. We're going to tertiary once more. I do expect, though, that they will challenge Kinotrope in gunfights upstairs like the previous time around, because Kinotrope, at least by my count, they are an execute team. They do like to go for plan attempts. SCARZ now have a choice to not allow them. The round can win or lose upstairs in gunfights, or at the very least, take down 2-3 attackers, disrupt them from achieving their plan, then fall back, drop down the hatch, play the bomb site itself, something along those lines. Kinotrope, of course, they also did that attack off a tactical timeout, so they had plenty of time to set up all the pieces perfectly in theory and say, guys, this operator, that operator, you're gonna go in over here, I'm gonna go in over there, this is the game plan. They don't have that any longer, so that whatever they are cooking up, they have to make in the prep phase and of course the early stage of action phase, and then they have to go for executes. So because of that, there is also a world where Kinotrope can't make it as perfect as it was in the previous round. We're gonna start off with Mao on the Thermite, of course, same thing as before. Exothermic charge, secondary MP in pocket of Acerola on the Grim. That's gonna guarantee the wall opening, as there is no Kaid or Bandit, as those were both banned out by Kinotrope earlier on.
And look, Pengu, if they go 3-3 here, that's potentially exceeding expectation. Yeah, not just good enough, but great. Yeah, something you'd expect for a map that they've picked that we didn't think SCARZ were good on. It's funny how things can flip. You go from a 1-3 scoreline to potentially, oh, actually, no, Kinotrope are looking really good. It's the whiplash that we get sometimes, especially with through crafting like how defender-sided maps are.
The only downside is, as mentioned, they did cost them their tactical timeout, which means if things don't work out for Kinotrope on defense, they have no parachute to say, what do we do now? How do we fix it? At least not with their support staff involved, only the players in the server. It's a very quiet round so far. Yuki's on the Nook looking for a potential sneak play in Ops room. Aegator had his presence heard, sprinting around on the castle, will fall back, barricade the door. Very similar positions for SCARZ rather as previously, as Rekka. He's in the hallway.
Yeah.
Hello?
Sees the Twitch drone. He's actually going to go for this. With the Bailiff, no less. He falls. It's a Bailiff v Bailiff battle that Acerola will win. He's still low. But man, he's popped off. 10 kills so far in just 6 rounds. Choppy above the bomb site, just watching for an entry. Fishlike eventually will push, take down that Twitch. Acerola still upstairs. It's Choppy looking to fight him at the moment. He finds a Caillou first. Good shot with the Warden, not worried about those flashes. Still putting his attention onto the bomb site. Acerola going deep. He finds Choppy, but gets downed. And Aegator, though, to trade. Make it very difficult on the top floor. Down to a 1v1 here. Mao brings it back for SCARZ, or rather for Kinotrope. And for SCARZ, it's just Washoy downstairs. You might have a bit of info, though. There's bulletproof cameras in bunks on the bomb site.
Yeah.
How does Mao play
Spare
this?
Valk in pocket. Could toss it out, get some more intel. He's playing by breach, so yeah, he can go upstairs. Perfect rotation. Defenders have vert control. Attackers have the bomb site.
Yeah, he's got the yellow ping as well. This should be a free kill. No, Mao gets off, but there's no way that this will be safe. There's no way really to plant. Takes a desperate position in the corner, but the hatch drop here is on for Washoy. He drops on the 0-0, spots him, takes him down. It's a 4-2 split for SCARZ on defense.
It's a kind of cold flank upstairs. Walks in, gets one kill, and says, I can either fall back, maybe die, or just take down the injured player with me and guarantee a 1 versus 1. We have information on the bomb side. Washoy can then go upstairs. And it's one of those really frustrating 1v1s as an attacker. If you stay upstairs on the vertical, well, 1, you don't have information to work with, and 2, Washoy, who's playing Valkyrie, can just stay off the bomb side. The second you go downstairs to the bomb site as the attacker, which you have to since you have to plant down that diffuser, Washoy can just walk up the staircase and retake the vert. And now you got those cameras working against you as the thermite player downstairs. And then either you gotta go back up and take the gunfight, but guess what? Valkyrie drops down the hatch. It's a game of cat and mouse. And as long as SCARZ played that one correctly with the intel game, there's no realistic way they should lose that round, and they don't. They get the 4-2 expected half for defense. SCARZ, by my count, they're great on defense. They're great at playing together when things are flowing and working well. But the same thing can be said for them when they are awake on the attacking side. I still have fond memories of last year's Stage 2 SCARZ on Bank, where they are in the building, they are roam clearing, they're taking gunfights in 20 seconds time, and they own that map. Lair, of course, can be a bit more tricky to roam clear, but given the operator bans, double shield from Kinotrope and double wall deny from SCARZ, you're leaving open the fast operators like the Dokkaebi, like the Deimos, and you still also have the Blackbeard. If SCARZ want to pick up those kinds of operators, they can certainly play this like a bank and get in that building quickly, if that's what their game plan is going to be.
And you know what, Pengu? Behind the region's top 2 in D+ and BNK Fear X, SCARZ are actually the best attacking team. They're far more attacking favored than defensive favored. Yeah, that's right. 53% attack win rate, 45% defense win rate. So funnily enough, they're actually below average on their defense and above average on their attacking side. They have a pretty decent plant percentage as well. 25% of their attack rounds, they're winning that plant. They're also a very good entry team, the best entry team in the league at 58%. Kinotrope all the way down on 45%, the second worst in the league. So in these opening engagements, SCARZ are ahead. When it comes to getting that bomb down, when it comes to going for those really strong and convincing attacks, they are definitely the better team here. So as we switch into the second half, 4-2 split, yeah, it's not your map pick, but you're on the attack. You're pretty damn good at your attack. I mean, on the flip side of that, you got players like Acerola who are absolutely farming right now. Kinotrope's lead fragger on 12 and 4 at the moment. As Aegator gets back into the server, I don't know, despite some heroics from select players on Kinotrope, despite a couple of 1v1s, I am feeling SCARZ.
Oh, there comes the Deimos out, possibly. Just waiting for the final call. We say live, so we are back in action. That's a very quick reconnect there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, credit to
There's nothing worse when a player goes, 1 second, let me just leave real quick. And then it's like, oh, I can't reconnect, the PC crashed, the blue screen, and then 20 minutes later.
Yeah, nah, good on Aegator. It's a funny, like, you know, Aegator was one of those players who for many, many years played on that Kagasaka roster. Like, for the longest time, they had the same 5 players on that team. I think it was for 2.5 years, maybe 3. More than the longest running 5-player roster of any region at the Tier 1 level anywhere in the world in Siege, which is absolutely balmy, right? Then they finally made some big roster changes when they started having success. That included dropping Aegator, who bounced around a bit, found his home on SCARZ, and credit to him. Right now, he's looking pretty solid. This SCARZ roster clearly needed some changes, And it's funny because this SCARZ roster had kind of picked up the best players in the region for a long time. You know, they picked up Rek when he was the best player on Northception, if I recall. They picked up Nina when he was the best player on his team as well. Obviously, Nina's now gone. You got Choppy, who I think is a solid player, but he never stood out to me as, like, you know, king of Japan. Same for Aegator. And yet, here they are. They're looking really solid. Much more of a team effort as well compared to Kinotrope, who've got one player on 12 kills and one player, two players actually, on Donuts.
Double Donut is kind of crazy. I mean, that's the start of APAC, I guess, where your job is to do either planting work or some utility coverage.
Yeah, 2 players have 0 kills on Kino. 2 players have 9 between them, and then Acerola has 12. That is not a well-balanced team right now.
Israel doesn't find all those incredible amounts of kills, and it's like, do they even get 2 rounds? Like, what does that look like? That's the danger part. Now, Kawa is playing in an important position here. He's been in that same small box by the bomb site that we saw Smoke in when SCARZ were defending, surviving the Vert, surviving the nades, surviving the Blackbeard. He has to try and do the exact same thing. The longer he stays alive for, the more damage you can do, whether it be kill it. Oh, and we just swing. What?
That's your 12k
so
player right there. That's the only deadly player on Kinotrope. A Nitro Cell does a bit of damage to Rek, but he takes as well as he deals. Oh, here comes that shotgun, but no, Rek on a narrow angle finds Carwow's head. SCARZ off to a flying start on this attack. Yeah, they've got the entries that we said that they were good at. They've got the numbers advantage. Oh, nice shot from Akayu. Rek is down. Finally, some form of a reply from Kino, but I think it's too little, and it feels too late.
Flank attempt, shot down, spare reinforcement not used. Blackbeard 1v1. What do you do here? Do you go close? Do you go far? Do you run away? Blackbeard swings, pretty far coming out, but Facelight wins it out. Traded back by Mao, but now left in a 1v3 with 20 health left.
Washoy is just around his corner as well. SCARZ don't have to rush this, don't have to give him 3 1v1s. Yeah, what they're going to do is they're going to wait for Aegator to bring through with the Deimos. Now they know exactly where he is. They can start spraying him. They can time it together. Nade goes in. He's worried about the peak. Aegator comes through, hunts him down. Dominant opening attack for SCARZ. And it seems like Kinotrope are nothing without Acerola fragging.
It's such a shame how they lose it, because I'm talking about Kawa and how he's playing that small box. He's got to stay alive and do everything that he can. He is the centerpiece of that entire defense, at least for that bomb side. And how you want to play that typically is that you play around Kawa. If you need somebody to watch his door to his right, you watch the door to his right. Same with the door on the left. You cover his position. When Acerola full sends it down the hallway, sprinting, fighting 2 attackers, one being a Blackbeard and dies, Kawa's losing that coverage. He's losing that backup player, and now he has to worry about the left door as well as the right door. And we know that a Deimos downstairs was going to happen eventually. So I think it's very important that when you're playing these set pieces on defense, you have a dedicated job. I don't believe, in my mind at least, that Acerola's job should have been to swing the hallway as offensively as it did, because Kawa was not under any pressure yet. That could have been a good play with the right timing, and with Kawa also making the play together, but instead Acerola makes the play, he dies. Now Kawa's like, oh snap, I'm gonna die soon after because I have no teammates. I'm gonna just toss out the C4, I'm gonna swing myself. He then gets swung before he can do it, and then he dies shortly after. And then the round is strategically over. Kinotrope gotta go into panic mode or clutch mode. They try and get a couple of kills back. They find a single, that's really it. And that's where we look at SCARZ. They're playing really strong individual operators in the 1v1s. They're playing Blackbeard and Deimos last round as well as this one. They have Dokkaebi for information, and now they got Ying for flashbangs. So Kinotrope, when they're playing in numbers disadvantage, they have a lot of strong gadgets also working against them to weaken their players one by one.
Oh, there's a rush for SCARZ. The Echo is seemingly going to get killed here. No, just misses the dash a little bit. Goes for another one. Oh, that is such a shame there for Fishlike. If he'd gone a little bit earlier, he might have managed to get at least that 1v1, but instead SCARZ has 2 players on the entry. Oh no, Aegator, I think that might have been... look, I don't want to say the B word, but I'm going to say I think that might have been the smoke bug, where he was choking even though he was no longer in the smoke. Unfortunate, but let's be honest, SCARZ were really losing that round regardless. 2v5, Rek has to decide to take the gamble. He'll take down the Yokai drone and get inside.
I like the rush. Like, I think fish like on the back was like a centimeter, a millimeter, very, very much close to making that work with the gadget. The only thing that could have been better, no one watched the flank down the staircase, and we saw the timing. Israel on Tuberau was right behind that rush, takes down both players, saves his teammate, and kind of just wins out the round for his team. Timing not favoring SCARZ. They're going fishing, they're going hunting. Twitch drone comes out, gets shot immediately. Smoke off one angle and fight the other.
Yeah, he was going to try and Twitch drone the Dread Mine for his teammate, but maybe Rek doesn't need it. Takes down the top fragger from Kino. One more smoke remaining. Oh! Flicks the angle just before the smoke comes through, but Yukiz with the boss G will trade all up to Choppy now. Bit of damage as well. I'm not sure where that was from. Perhaps through the smoke. Low on HP, allowing Kinotrope to reposition. It was a nice idea there for SCARZ, but yeah. So it's the Blackbeard's dash ability. Obviously that breaks through soft walls. Does that destroy deployable shields? Was that what he was trying to do?
That is a phenomenal question. I have never seen a Blackbeard destroy the deployable shield, but he destroys castles, soft walls, etc. If I would have to,
it's like Oryx,
to assume
right?
anything, yeah, then yeah.
Oryx?
Exactly. It's based on Oryx dash.
Does Oryx destroy deployable shields? I don't think I've ever tried. Obviously, it's a defender gadget. Why would you destroy it?
It's a defender gadget, yeah.
No,
These are great questions.
I'm not sure if he was...
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, but I don't actually know about Oryx.
How would you go about finding this out? Do we like have to search up a coconut bra video? I mean, you're at your PC. You could literally launch the game right now and try and test it yourself.
Grief your team, I'm seeing.
You got to Google it. Someone has the answer, surely.
I feel like I'm gonna say you can, but I will check.
Because obviously, if he had just gotten within melee range, he could have just done a normal melee attack, and it would knock the defender back onto his back, and then it would be a free kill for Blackbeard. But I think he was just trying to close the distance a bit quicker by using that. I actually don't know the name of the ability from Blackbeard where he actually like attacks with the shield, where he shield bashes. I can hear you typing furiously.
It's the, well, the gadget is just called the whole adaptable shield.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure if the exact activation of the gadget has like a specific one.
Yeah, right.
Checking. So the thing is, when you use Blackbeard's gadget, what I do know is that you cannot be meleeed by a defender. I think what happened there, he sprinted in expecting Echo to go for the knife. He then used the gadget button to then counteract it, but he was not close enough to actually hit the Echo operator and knock him down.
And then he got knifed straight afterwards, so he had to like deal with the guard break for a second, and then that allowed the time for the Tuberau to come in through.
It's a roller showed up, So it's very much and because a regular melee attack has obviously no cooldown, the whole shield on activation has like a, I'm gonna say 5 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that. So when Blackbeard misses on the gadget usage, you pretty much lose the 1v1. Okay, it's kind of like when Blitz doesn't blind his opponent and goes for an ADS kill, you also lose that. You gotta wait for the second flash to recharge.
Such a shame. It was a nice idea. Like, the idea there was great. It's funny, I feel like Japan is the region that does pocket strats like that more than any other region. I just feel like we always see it out of Kino, SCARZ, CAG, more than any other team.
Attackers have located a bomb.
He does break shields, by the way.
Sorry, what's that?
Oryx. Oryx does like deployable shields.
Sorry, you keep cutting out. You're saying does or doesn't?
Sorry, Oryx does.
Okay.
D-O-E-S. He does break them.
Okay. Thank you for spelling it. You just happened to cut out like twice the exact second when you said it. Is tech support with Pengu and Dev right here, trying to figure out all the fancy tech on these new operators.
Well, the thing is, normally it's just like not a real question, because like, why would you ever destroy your shield? I've never thought about it before. But I also think we're there. I'm perfect. Have them right sometimes.
Not sure what you were saying there, Nick, to be honest. I think you might be cutting out a little bit. But we'll get the producers onto that. For now, I'll take control of this round as Kinotrope start to take control here. They've got a player advantage as Rek has fallen. There's a lot of breaches onto the site here. This big one on the rear side, the internal breach, opens up quite a few avenues. But very rarely do we see teams actually try and execute and plant through here. Carwell holding with the bullet hose, but he's exposed to the breach outside. This is so well played by SCARZ. Despite losing that opening player, they've actually handled the situation really well, opening up as many avenues towards the side as possible to expose these anchors. Problem is, 4 of the Kinotrope defenders are upstairs, and they can essentially deny the plant wherever it may be. 35 seconds, what is the play from SCARZ? Acerola is just waiting. Here comes the Sens light wall, the projector ROUs, and Warden will not be able to see through those. The sound cover from the Candelas. The flash is up above. There's no info. Washoy, he will get away with it. Another ROU goes out just as the other one falls, and it must be a retake down below from Kinotrope. A 4v4 post-plant. Acerola taking a hell of a lot of damage. He goes down. Fishlike is just waiting patiently on the Nomad here. Near his air jab, he finds a double. The perfect flank watch. Akayu cannot survive. And SCARZ, a beautiful attack there. A very unconventional one, but it ended the way we always expect it to. In with the light walls and out with the execute.
I mean, the thing about SCARZ is that whatever we can talk about them, they are exhilarating. Like, they are so good in rushes when it comes to the chaos effect. It kind of brings me back to, I don't want to say prime CAG, because really they kind of peaked, you know, obviously in Rio. But when CAG first made international grounds, playing Monty, drop shotting, doing crazy stuff, SCARZ have always been a similar team. When they can just do crazy stuff, they all invest in the same thing, they all believe in it, they're all fired up. That's when they are the very best version of themselves. Going to Lair, which is a map that they don't typically play, having solid defenses, getting the 4-2-half, now going attack and also doing this, that's what we've been missing from them the entire stage thus far. Now, this is lower bracket. But the fact that they're able to go for this and pull it off, that's the first step for them. This right here is the beginning journey for either Kinotrope or SCARZ to make that lower bracket run, and the winner will of course have another match later against PSG. So this is the final test before you play PSG. If you beat them, of course, you go further and further, but it's only gonna ramp up. It's only gonna get more difficult from here.
Yeah, 3 match points, or map points, I should say. What do we call it in tennis if you win on your opponent's... So if you win your opponent's service game in tennis, because obviously serving is an advantage in tennis, so you always expect to lose your service games. If you win your opponent's service game, we call it a break. So we have a break point. What do we call it when you win your opponent's map pick? We need a fancy word. Come on, we got to pioneer that.
We do need a fancy word for that.
Yeah.
You're right, we haven't done that before.
Well, it's whatever that is. I usually use the word break point when it's 5-5. What did you say?
Yeah, the break-in point. So I'd say counterpoint to the serving thing. Stefan, Easy, and I, we played tennis for the first time when he was here.
Oh, really?
Whoever was serving was not making it happen, okay? I'm just saying. And at a lower level of play, it is not an advantage. It's hard, okay?
Yeah. I love tennis. I would love to play again. It's not tennis season. We have the Australian Open here in Melbourne where I live. And every time the Australian Open rolls around, I get tennis fever. Got to play sometime.
I get that. You're right, we do need a term for that. Breaking point is 5-5 and you break to match point, right? That's how you use it?
That's what I usually use it, especially because when we have like regulation stages where you get extra points for overtime, then it makes sense because it's like that 5-5, someone is about to get a point on the leaderboards. But yeah, I mean, I always love tennis. I always love bringing it into Siege because there are a couple analogies that work out. And we, of course, have famous tennis player Medvedev who owns M80 and has his own skin in the game on Bandit. No Bandit, though, in this round, as he is banned. They banned it. They banned it, the Bandit. And here come the Grimm's Bees. Why are you bringing out the Bailiff, my friend?
The Bailiff.
He wants to sprint. I think that's what he's going for. He's got to time this with his teammates, though.
It's a Warden shotgun, though. I mean, there's no way, surely, right? You need a distraction of some sort, a grenade, but there's an AD. Rek is completely alone. He's got the ping information, now outdated. He can be rest assured, Warden is still there.
And so, Rek is waiting. Is he going to get away with it? The death mark has failed. They're just trying to time this well. The kill comes out. Bit of damage, but the Bailiff is not one shot. At least there's a refrag from Ayagata here with the Vendetta. He's coming up with a vengeance, but he is traded back again. Washoy in an awkward position. What is going on? Choppy comes up, retakes it, finds 2 kills. It's up to Carwow now in a 1 versus 2. SMG 11 in hand. After his C4 missed, Choppy is low. It's match point here for SCARZ. Carwow must clutch up for Kino, but they hear his phone ringing on out. Round in the corner, it's Choppy to find his 11th and find SCARZ the map. They have broken Kinotrope on Lair, and they go 1-0 up in the series. We'll be back for the second map after this.
It's gonna get personal. Don't give me this. Don't give me this. That's what you get when you act this way. You're gonna get paid. Better watch your back. It's gonna get personal.
You know how they say it's not the destination, it's the journey?
And the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you know what?
They're right.
처음 본 순간부터 눈을 뗄 수가 없었어. 이 세상 하나뿐인 너 처음 봤으니까 빠졌으니까 Then you got me thinking low. 사랑이란 단어로 썸도 아닌 썸을 타며 행복한 줄로 친구들이 다들 바보래. 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 해봐서 어떡해 honestly. Cause 1, 2, 3 중요한 건 you and me. 내 곁에만 있다면 Baby can't you see. 자꾸 쳐다보면 boy 말이라도 걸어봐. 속마음을 표현해. I know it's gonna be alright. 손이라도 잡을까. 봄에 안겨볼까. Whatever your love language, I know it's gonna be alright. Can't take all this hot and cold. Love shouldn't be this hard. No, 뭐라고 있는지도 모르겠잖아. 어렵지 않아. 무슨 생각한지도 정말 진심인지도 Guess like I've never guessed before. 나 좋아하는 건 맞아. 친구들이 다들 바보래. 사랑 표현 못한 벙어리 한 번도 안 know we're gonna be alright. I had a feeling, why am I not surprised? Shattered the ceiling, the glass in my eyes. I'm turning gold, why you so cold to me? Some of the words get harder to find. Swallow my feelings, they don't sit quite right. I'm like, what's the point? You disappoint me. Only showing up when it's convenient. Why is no one here to save me? Moving pieces across the board like it's a game. Oh, what a way to frame me. I know I shouldn't care, but I'm over being you. And maybe it's all in my head, 'cause it's time for something new. I'm not even famous, but all you blaming on some lame excuse. And maybe it's all in my head, 'cause it's time for something
we're digging into map number 2 here between Kinotrope and SCARZ. Two Japanese behemoths go head-to-head here in the lower bracket of the APL North Division. I don't know if we call it a division these days, but I feel like it sounds so fancy. We got to call it a division, a league, a division, a sub-region. What's your preferred flavor here, Pengu?
I like league, but that's also like very basic, right? Because there's leagues everywhere.
And
North American League, European
And
League.
APL, that already has league in it, right? APAC,
Yeah.
Asia Pacific League. And that's
We
why I
have
don't...
divisions in the league.
Yeah, because we got three, sub-regions, if you want to call it. That's the word we used to use back in the Pro League days of APAC. We've got APAC North. But even then, I just want to call it North because we already have APAC in APL. Like if you say, welcome to the APL APAC North, it's welcome to the Asia Pacific League, Asia Pacific North. That's a lot of Asia Pacifics, isn't it?
It is. I like sub-regions a lot, actually. I just like thinking about esports in general, not just for Siege itself. I think sub-regions for me just like touches a nice part of my brain going, yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Scratches that itch for you. Well, hopefully this series is scratching an itch for you as well, Pengu, because we're digging into Border, which one of my favorite maps to cast. We had such a fun board. I'm trying to remember, what was the Border we casted yesterday? It was a really fun game. Very hectic. Was it the Weibo versus Elevate
it was the
game?
Elevate Weibo. Yeah.
That was fun. That was
ridiculous.
8-7 by the end of it. Elevate were flying out of windows, running out of doors. They were going nuts. And if there's any teams that we know like to go for cheeky executes on small maps like Border, it's the Japanese. And that's what we've got. Kinotrope and SCARZ head-to-head today on map number 2 with SCARZ already flying through the first map, 7-3.
I think Kawa has some tech here. It's gonna fire, they're gonna Selma the wall, and then they can fire through it next time.
Okay.
Face them gonna run out, okay. So they're gonna smoke, they're gonna Selma the wall. Then they can shoot a fire arrow through that breach on towards East there, so Rek is playing smoke.
Was it reinforced?
And force
Is that
him
why
to
they had
move away.
Selma it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was reinforced.
Didn't work.
And it got not worked.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
I'm not sure that's an impact or if that's a Selma popping off or what that is, but yeah.
Fascinating. Yeah, how did that get
Unsuccessful.
Did Washoi just shoot it off from below? I think he did. Yeah, he must have.
Oh, it is possible.
Oh, he has
yeah,
an
must have.
impact. I reckon
Has
he
an angle.
impacted it from above.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
Yeah.
What the hell is that tech, dude? So, how many layers are to this,
They know.
Pengu? We've got like a gnarly as Capitao fire lineup to clear east stairs from outside of Passport Door on the other side of the map. Then we have the counter to that, reinforcing this wall. And then we have the counter to that, breaching the wall. And then we have the counter to it being shot off, the smoke. And then we have the counter to that, an impact from above. That is just like some crazy tech back and forth.
Yeah, and the most impactful thing this round is Fishlight walked out the building and got the opening kill on Tudokabi. Like, there's all this strat on that side, and there's Fishlight's got,
Someone's
I got a
just
gun.
monkeying about on the other side of the map. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
The two sides of Border. And now, Kinotrope, as I said, they love their pocket strats. They love their mini executes. That is what the Capitao Ace is, but look at that. It's another freebie. Washoi swings out. Fishlight with a second.
Oh.
The entire round falling apart. A good melee onto Fishlight takes him down, but 4v2 now favoring SCARZ in defense. They're sitting nice and tight.
Well, what's the law of Border? When in doubt, send it up main stairs and die. Send it up main stairs and get one kill before dying. Acerola went Nuki on Lair. What, 12 kills in the first 6 rounds, if I'm not wrong? And now he's got the Monty with the diffuser in a 1v3. It's James Bonding it, dude.
No shield in the hand. I mean, you do generate less noise and you're technically faster at ADSing, but you're also much more vulnerable.
He's also faster at walking, if I'm not wrong, right? There's shield speed debuff as well, is there not?
I'm gonna hit. Oh, doesn't matter right now. Gets triple crossfire by the way and
swear there
swung
was.
out by
Am I crazy?
SCARZ.
I thought shield adds a speed debuff, and if you put it on your back...
Well, technically there is, because you walk faster with a pistol in your hand. But if you're, let's say you're a 3-speed with an AR or an LMG, well, LMG is actually slower than an AR.
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
If you're 1-speed with an regular AR, you're the same speed as your shield walking around. But because the shield has a pistol, if you're a 1-speed operator with a pistol out, you would be faster than a 1-speed with an AR out, right? Because pistol buff.
You know what we need is we need the Siege Olympic Games, and we need to boot up Stadium and do a race between every single operator and see who wins.
Fun fact. I believe Titanium Rolo
Did they do that?
literally did this thing
No.
last year or the year before.
No way.
I believe so.
Oh, I love
They
that. for
hosted
Rolo.
this, like the Olympics where they were sprinting and doing different things and all kind of on Stadium. So they had this whole thing going.
They do like drone throwing competition and stuff like that.
Yeah. Drone racing and drone throwing and
That's
like, throw
awesome.
like a gadget from a certain distance or get closest to this target. They did all kinds of stuff.
That's
and it was
so
all
sick.
streamed.
That's awesome. I had no idea that existed. Damn, I really missed out. The closest that we had to that down under was, I'm going to say it was end of 2021. I reckon right before
Okay.
Mandy started casting with me, actually. She was the observer for our Oceanic Nationals. And we did this challenge where each of the members of the talent team had to try and do some drone parkour that one of our pro players had, like, you know, said, how do you get your drone from here to here? And then the last one, it was kind of a joke one. It was the starting point was the bottom of Cafe, and the end point was the very top, the roof of Cafe. And all of us casters, like we did joke versions, you know, like some of us picked up our drones and threw them to the top. Some of us, you know, picked up the drone, rappelled up, whatever. Mandy literally went through the entire map. She spent 45 minutes. She sent me the full video, 45 minutes, jumping off little pot plants and ledges and railings, and she actually got all the way to the top of Cafe just with her drone from the very bottom.
Wait, she actually did it?
She did it, no shit.
Okay, I honestly didn't think it was possible. I thought that was a joke. Fair enough. It's time to do. I mean, I know I can do it on Skyscraper. I can go from
Really?
the spawn to the roof. Yeah.
That's dope.
I found some tech there. And there's a dragon drone on the roof that you can use. That's pretty nice to get there in prep phase. This one, though, it feels like prep phase was a second ago. But half damage flown by. Kawa 1 HP. Monty dead. Fishlike on site getting spammed by Candillans. But no one really attacking right now from Kinotrope. They're all mostly...
Yeah, and talk about the Olympics. Fishlike's doing some gymnastics on site, trying to flex between all the different angles he's exposed to. Kinotrope trying to just close the net on this Warden without taking a head-to-head gunfight. They want to expose him rather than targeting him in a 50-50. But unfortunately for Kino, they haven't found a lot for it. Like you said, Monty died. Carwell's low on HP. There's not a lot of ground taken here by the attacking side. SCARZ still have break room control. Finally, Ukiz wants to start pushing on forward into CCTV, but time's ticking away. There's so many roamers on the top floor. Our site player for SCARZ is still feeling pretty healthy. This has just not been enough progress here for Kinotrope. And as they start to move on forward, they need to win these fights. They do onto Washoi. Big kill. Still 2 players in office to deal with. Acerola finds another kill. That's big for him. He's been so instrumental for Kinotrope today, finding frag after frag. Alligator is trapped in the corner of office. He's sprayed down through the soft wall. Doesn't seem to matter that Kinotrope have left it late, unless if this slippery little rat in the corner from Choppy can clutch up. Mao is about to cover his angle. He finds him. It's a 1v2 though after Carwell takes down Fishlike. Carwell has to find a safe plant position. 2 seconds, 1 second, smoke goes down, and he goes for that default plant spot. SCARZ, no, Choppy, he's in the wrong position. It's not that plant spot, not by the window, no, it's deep inside of Tellers. And so Ukiz and Carwell in the post plant look to hold it. And it's not an easy task here for the Fenrir. Nigh impossible here for Choppy. They know his position. His 2 players of Kino separated. If he knew, he could just wallbang Ukiz right now. But Carwell is in this deep position. Ukiz is playing to save his life, playing to delay time, and Carwell will find the final kill. Doesn't matter that they've done just about nothing for the first 2 minutes of the round, because in the last 40 seconds, Kinotrope come to life. So, my good friend Nicholas Pengu Moritzen is just dealing with some technical issues, so you guys are stuck with me for a hot minute. So, let's break down what happened there. Honestly, I spent most of that round thinking about the Olympics. I saw that the Monty had died. I saw that the Capital had low HP. The only thing I can assume is that Kinotrope, as always, tend to have some really cheeky ideas. They've always got these Capital lineups. They've got, you know, in the previous round when trying to clear East stairs, we saw the way that they use the Ace, the way they use the smoke, the intention with the Capital. They love these lineups. They love this prep stuff, this tech, which we've talked about so much. SCARZ, though, seemingly pretty aware of it. I mean, you can only assume these guys are very close scrim partners. They've been playing each other for years, literally years. We've got former teammates between these teams as well. SCARZ has a very good read on Kino. Unfortunately for them, though, they're just overrun in the last minute. Kino a little bit too unpredictable in the final 40 seconds of that round. So we're at 1 apiece. Border's one of those maps where you can't say, oh, well, you only need to get 2 attack round wins, you only need to get 2 defense round wins, because it's just so even. In APAC North, Border has been played just 4 times, has been pretty defensive-sided, 59%. Which means, in theory, you target a 4-2 split here for SCARZ, but something about Border being a small map that just makes it so comfortable to attack. Even if you're a team that's just wasted 2 minutes, as we saw Pengu, Kinotrope in the last round, 40 seconds left, 4v4 doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a heartbreaking round for SCARZ as well with that. It was, my last final words was like, okay, it's a freebie for SCARZ, right? And then it wasn't. The gymnastics, the training didn't really pay off on the bomb side for Fishlike. This time, it's Choppy anchoring downstairs with smoke, waiting for the first blow from Kinotrope. The Monty has been a bit of a mixed bag. It's been present in the rounds, but hasn't had the most amount of impact.
Yeah, I generally
last
don't
alive
know.
the first round, first at the second.
Yeah, I don't know how he died last round, honestly. I didn't manage to see
Same. It's, to be fair, Border is a great multi-map because there's so much to push, so much map control to take, but also self-destruction, verticality, crossfires. Like, look at this right now. If Monty walks in too far, player in Fountain, player on this wall that we call Ninja, where I'm from, you can't just walk in right now.
Ooh.
You gotta smoke. Yeah, he's dead.
Apparently Washo can just walk on in. Trade Lucker to come through. Yukiz walk straight into a goo mine. Acerola will find Ayagator. Washo, though, worth his weight in gold here. Oh, the C4 shot. Acerola had to go deep. He times it well. Last bullet in the magazine finds Washoi's head. 3v3. Much faster round from Kino. And they are bloodied, but they have taken ground.
I think, looking at trade value right now, okay, 2 for 2 is typically good for defenders right now. You're in a 3-on-3, you know, you got time burning down, Monty is dead, Dokkaebi Call was spent. There are still 4 Grim Bees canisters rather in the pocket of Kinotrope, so they got utility to work with. But look at the map control. SCARZ still have Armory. They built that, they still have Archives, and they still control the bomb site beneath as well. If Kinotrope had Monty alive right now, they could walk in the bomb site,
What the hell?
get that information. How did this happen?
Where?
Choppy, where did he even come from, Choppy?
I don't even know. He's snuck into the
He's
bomb
just out
site.
there.
He's found a big kill as well. I mean, 3v2, that's a decisive moment in the round, right? You were saying, speculating who came out in the advantage in that 3v3. Well, maybe it is the defense. In fact, they still have that control upstairs. Oh, the smoke is perfect. So well played from Choppy.
Good.
He's put the round on his back. He's made it a 1v3, and there's nothing that Carwell can do. Doesn't have time to make a breach and get into the site, and Choppy finds the final kill. Immediately calling a timeout is Kinotrope. They know that they are on the ropes.
Exact thing happened on Lair. These early tactical timeouts on the attacks. I mean, I don't know. Of course, Border is statistically a lot easier to attack than that of Lair. Simpler as well. Kinotrope, because of how map 1, you know, 3, relatively one-sided,
Yeah.
ahead of the problem.
Yeah.
And I do love when teams do this. It's gonna happen.
It is going to happen. I genuinely don't know what point you were making there, Pengu. I respect the authority that your voice carries, your beautiful Danish sultry notes as you speculate what's going on in the minds of these players. But I personally cannot understand. You may as well be speaking Danish when the robot takes over. That's the thing, guys. In the age of AI, robots are taking over. They've found their way into Pengu's apartment. They've started trying to turn him into a Cyberman. They're not quite there yet. We've got our production team on it. They're sending in the EMPs right now to try and, you know, Matrix-style fight them. It's like Matrix Revolutions right now in Pengu's apartment. Our production team is doing everything they can to bring Pengu back from the robot overlords as we focus up on Kinotrope. With their tactical timeout, it's not quite been good enough. Of course, it's hard to attack on border. Statistically, we've seen that. But with rounds going that way, when they just feed choppy, there's a little bit of a lack of direction. Ironically, the only round Kinotrope has won was not because they had a nice little bit of preparation. They've been counted every time that's the case. No, it was because they pulled the rabbit out of the hat. They pulled a round out of their asses on that 4v5 in the late round, in the second round on that Teller's attack. Now we go to Armory. This is really where you stereotypically see your set pieces. I mean, what, in your ranked games back home, what are you expecting when you go for an Armory attack? If you're not going to do a slow and steady, take CCTV, take office, take armor, execute, break the wall, what are you doing? If, like, you're logging into a ranked game, it's first round attack on border, and then one of the guys in your Discord calls like, hey, guys, let's go archives. Let's go for an execute. And you're saying, okay, you play the Monty, you play the Glaz, I'm going to sit on the sandwich window, on the lockers window, I'm going to do this. Oh, no, they got a Goyo. How are we going to clear all this util? That's fine, guys. You know, I'm bringing the Gon 6, I'm bringing the Twitch, whatever it is. I'm wondering whether Kinotrope are going to be going for an execute-based attack like that, or it's more slow and steady business, because frankly, the slow and steady, particularly the Monty being slow and steady, it hasn't worked for them. 2 rounds in a row, he's been the first to fall for the attacking side. And that's not quite good enough here for Kinotrope. And you're dancing around which player's playing it as well. I mean, you look, it's Acerola, the guy who was hard carrying on map number 1, the only guy that was really finding many multi-kills. He's now got a pistol. He was left last alive in that first round, did absolutely nothing. He's been pretty useless ever since when it was on Akayu. Now it's back to Acerola again. Armory Archives. What is the plan? Last time this was played, this bomb site, SCARZ got the opening kill onto Yukiz. This time it's onto Mawu. Acerola does find his kill at the top of these stairs, and the exchange is well and truly won. Big from Akayu here. Massive 2K. SCARZ are finally on the ropes. It's a 3K for Akayu. Round is done. Choppy, nice shot there with the Vector on the ACOG. He finds Akayu, gets revenge after that 3K, but with the Monty in tow, with the drone coming through, with almost 2 minutes left, really the only way that this gets won by SCARZ is if Kinotrope keep throwing like that. I mean, Pengu, how on earth do they throw this?
This looks a lot more like a border attacking round until Choppy started showing up. I like this from Monty though. Just kind of getting information, backstabbing a little bit, being annoying. The Ghoul Mine exposes Yuki's position. Office window jump in. Choppy can mostly ignore the Monty, but a wallbang goes through and confirms the round. Kinotrope looking alive in that one, finally showing up. Even the score count 2-2. That tactical timeout might just have saved them enough to get enough rounds on the attack to make this map competitive.
Yeah. Funny thing though, I mean, we've had 4 rounds played out. Every single round, it's been SCARZ finding that opening kill, which mirrors what we were talking about, how SCARZ are the best, or one of the best opening kill teams. Yeah, their conversion's a little bit slippery though, right? They're only 50% conversion in this game so far, this map, I should say. Yeah. I don't know, that was a weird round, Pengu. Like, we saw, you know, they lose a player, they take his stairs control, and then suddenly Kayu's found, what, 3 kills from outside a break room.
I mean, that has been SCARZ's issue, even on layer. They can get... Sometimes they can overstep their welcome a little bit, right? You can say, okay, this player, Aikayu, got a kills outside the break room. That's him holding a good angle, but SCARZ have to be moving into that line of sight and contest him or be unaware of his positioning for that to occur. The thing about Border, though, very much like Coastline, if you go far enough back in time in Pro League history, it's a map where defenders can't just let go of the mouse and keyboard and AFK by the bomb site. This is a map where you have to fight for map control, you have to fight for space. So even when you get like a 5 versus 4 or 5 versus 3, you can't just do nothing. You need to still fight for space. And that's what's giving Kinotrope a chance back in these rounds at times. And what's also forcing SCARZ to keep on fighting. That's why I love the Monty. And that's why I'm so confused. Not confused. I'm surprised that the SCARZ rather opted to ban the Dokkaebi. Yes, Dokkaebi sucks. But right now, I feel like there's a bigger problem with the Monty because they don't bring a lot of counters in these rounds. Smoke is either playing East Stairs or playing by the bomb site, so Monty gets a free reign on the roam entry. And Lee Shin Mines, they can be annoying for Monty, but they're not gonna get him killed, just do a bit of damage. And right now, Legion's playing an office on TCC. So now, Kinotrope once more should have free access to that first room.
In they go on CC. The goo mine is making things difficult. Uh-oh, he's actually going to keep tanking damage here while he tries to find a safe spot. Falls on back. He's still somewhat vulnerable. I think they're not banning the Monty because they actually feel pretty comfortable at playing against it. Obviously, they're leaning into the Legion, the tick damage of operators like Goyo and Smoke as well. They're not too worried. And to be frank, I feel like, yes, Monty is very powerful, but it doesn't feel like Kinotrope have actually made the most of it these last couple of rounds. He's often dying first with minimal impact or dying last, separated from his team.
This round off is not going so well for Kinotrope to start things off. Lose a player early, the Nomad, the active utility. Monty taking a bit of damage.
Oh no.
But now they're making progress. Well, as I say that, while Shoei takes down another IQ off the board. The Monty, you know, he can survive, but if the players behind him, they just keep falling apart, then it's not going to make a damn difference, is it? He jumped in off his window, okay.
Yeah, we just need to see some proper clearing here from Kino, don't we? You've got that Monty, you've got Ying. Use the tools you've got before you. Hard clear.
Yeah.
And it's forced SCARZ to retreat, except for Choppy, who still finds a kill regardless. If the only way you're killing roamers is by having your Montaigne aim down sights with his pistol and refrag a teammate, then that's not quite good enough. Akayu is caught by these goo mines as well. They've really put a literal thorn in Kinotrope's side. 2v4, 30 seconds.
Bomb has been located.
What gonna do here? They find. I was trying to say, how can SCARZ lose this one?
He knows.
The first, knowledge of the second, flashbang goes out, jump through surely. No. And Monty's dying to a goo mine right now. Okay, just like that, the round is over. Monty was forced to either put out the goo mine and die to the gunfire, or take the gunfight and then get injured by the goo mine. There was literally no winning there for Kinotrope.
I tell you what, if we could walk back
Unlucky.
2 rounds and ban a different operator for Kino, I'm banning that Legion, bro. Like,
Yeah, Legion,
so
get
much
out of
value
here.
that round. So damn much value. Like, you want to use this Monty, just walking into goo mines everywhere. I reckon he took about half his HP worth of damage from goo mines that round.
Yeah.
Attackers
It sucks. It's also why we often see teams bring out the Finka combined with shields. Obviously, it's more of a Blitz plus Finka situation because it increases your aim down
Blackbeard.
sight speed, and that's not... Oh, of course, or Blackbeard. In those rounds, we've just seen the Monty. There hasn't really been a Blackbeard, but I do feel like you can have a world right now where you bring in the Finka, just get some passive healing, really, to make people stronger in gunfights. Because even if you aren't playing shields, having passive heal can be benefit. Fast ADS, big benefit as well.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different ways that you could counter the goo mines as well. It looks like Twitch is coming through. I wonder if he's actually going to be targeting those traps or something else, perhaps. Maybe the Fenrirs. We've seen a lot of Dread Mines around, a lot of Fenrir play. And funny, because you're saying, oh, you know, you like to bring that Finka when you're playing your Blitz or your Blackbeard so you can aim down sights. Akayu has been aiming down sights. So has Acerola when they've been on the Monty as well. I think we've had 3 or 4 pistol kills from Monty in this game so far. And that's not the intended and the common purpose or the strength of Monty. He's probably the shield operator that you're spending the least time with the weapon out.
In an ideal world, these attacking rounds, besides the 2 victories, I guess you can say, well, actually, even one of them, they haven't really gone according to plan. It's been a bit of a, hey guys, let's problem solve this any way that we can.
Even the attacks they've won haven't gone to plan. They've had a plan, it's gone to shit, and then they've figured out a way to steal the round back.
It's border is scrappy. That's the thing, though. I think playing scrappy seeds here is all a-okay, but these openings, it is. Speaking of Monty ADSing, Ikayo just
Monta. Yeah.
Even Reg is confused.
Dude, how are you dying to a player while ADSing outside of East Stairs, man? It's Akayu as well. It's not even Acerola who plays a bit more of an aggressive Monty. That's Akayu. He's a support player. And that's 6 for 6, by the way. Every single round in this map so far. SCARZ have found the opening kill. They found a comfortable win on the first map, 7-3. And here on their map pick, they're looking pretty solid now. I looked at the numbers before, Pingu, while you were fixing some technical issues. Border is a bit defensive-sided, about 60% in this region, in APL North. So perhaps it's not all done and dusted, even if Kinotrope only find their 2. But they really need to make these look closer than they are, because it's not been a close half so far. It's been pretty dominating. Almost all of these rounds have been very convincingly in favor of SCARZ. The extinguisher goes out. Ayagator actually manages to run and escape through it. Meanwhile, he goes for a repeak on a very cheeky prone angle. Nade comes out. We need some kills. We need some pressure here from these two Kinotrope attackers. As Rek holds down the fort, the Grim Bees come out. And Kino look to make their entry. Nade goes in. Acerola to aim down sights and take this fight. He trades directly with his opponent. And now it's a 1v3 for Carwow. The Bees give him a little info.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone's actually just going to fall on back. Goo Mine again. The 10 millionth Goo Mine activated in this game, it feels. 30 seconds.
Yeah, and a dream. Hatch open in bathroom, drop down. There is no rotate. Kawa could make on himself with the secondary bailiff.
Oh!
Will advance forward. Pre-fire, had the yellow ping. Knowledge acquired. Kill confirmed. 20 seconds, and all of a sudden it looks winnable. But SCARZ have doubled up in the same angle, holding that same kind of crossfire.
Tell you what, Carwow's looking sharp right now after that shot. He has to find two more. He walks straight into Fish-like. SMG-12 at that range simply doesn't lose. SCARZ lock in the 4-2 split. And they are inching closer and closer to knocking Kinotrope out of this bracket.
Speaking of the sides, yeah, it might defend our favorite, but if SCARZ looks like the better team, the stronger combatant, and also them being an attacker favorite team overall statistically, I think that's the final nail in the coffin for Kinotrope. I mean, they gotta go absolutely massive on defense, or SCARZ would need to be unable to pick these rounds apart. But it's border. It's a relatively simply attacking map. SCARZ right now in the server, on the scoreboard, in the 1v1 gunfights, they have been the better team so far on this map. And that's gonna carry really well over into the attacking side, because it's all about the entries, which SCARZ have won every single time. To make things even worse, SCARZ, they banned the castle and the mirror, so the little bit of utility you could hide behind if you are Kinotrope, that'll be more restricted. Yes, you still got like the Warden, the Asami to play around, but you're not gonna have the mirror nor the castle. Whereas Kinotrope, they opted for a double shield ban, the Monty as well as the Blackbeard, Finger on the board, so Finger, Blitz on the board. You could do that up with the Finger, of course, like we spoke about. I love the Clash here. It can stop a fast rush, but it does mean you have one less gun up and available immediately, of course, and then you put down that shield.
Vibe check, Pengu. What are we thinking? SCARZ, Kino, how would they be going
Vibe
up
check,
against the top
SCARZ.
Korean teams? I mean, the winner is going to take PSG.
Oh, so like long term in the bracket.
Yeah,
So
like-
I honestly think whoever wins this, I'm not gonna be like, oh, SCARZ are gonna take it, but let's say whoever wins this, they go up against PSG, which I think if you look at the overall performance, they are like the third/fourth best team, tied with CAG. But they didn't play, unfortunately, right, because of the forfeit, so we don't really know who's the better team there. Then you play D+ of Theorix, the loser of that game that happens after this one. So I feel like you are getting like slightly stronger opponents step by step.
That's how double
The winner here,
typically, yeah.
yeah, but then you look at we had this conversation earlier about NAL, how
true, yeah.
SSG went lower, and then like Wildcard beat them, but then no one else could beat or everyone else beat Wildcard, but SSG won the whole thing. Like, you would assume by logic that you always play better and better teams, but I feel like the matchups just right now are very nicely evenly matched, because PSG's also had a bit of a weak stage, bit of inconsistent performances. But then I think when you go from lower bracket semi-final, winner of this versus PSG, into upper bracket final, Theorix and D+, there's a bit of a divide there. I feel
Yeah.
like the region is not like top heavy, but I do think Theorix and D+ right now, they pull ahead the rest.
Yeah, we felt like it was a three-horse race with those two Korean teams, or I guess I should say Theorix Korean team, D+ Brazilian team, and CAG Japanese team. But of course, with CAG out of the picture, it's changed a bit. Wow, this is a very interesting start. Rek from on the roof with his pre-lined Capital almost finds Mao, but actually gets traded back by him. So 2 kills going in the favor of the defense of Kino. SCARZ, I mean, again, they've come into this map with some cool ideas, you know, these crazy lineups, the Capitals, similar story to Kino. But execution on them is a struggle, because you're not playing against a static opponent. No, you're playing against these anti-Japanese operators who are very keen to get active. What's more, we just had a peek outside the building from inside of CCTV. Akayu finds a head. And SCARZ well and truly are ahead. First kill for SCARZ there as Kinotrope look to dominate. 4v2 now. Washoy makes his way forward, a flashbang, may assist. Carwell's got plenty of info. Choppy sees him, he sees Choppy. Washoy needs to get that diffuser before he moves on forward.
And SCARZ is just gonna be going hunting here, holding ankles, hoping for some swings. There is one, but they recognize maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Still going for another swing though.
Freebie.
Not quite cooled off. Look at this. Overzealous, looking for too much now. Kawa half on HP in the clash. Yukis finds a kill. This is awkward. Down goes the clash. Eventually.
How on earth did Washoy get over here into office though? I feel like, oh look at this, the double stack. Oh, it's the double whammy. The prone and the standing angle. They decide, okay guys, let's not get collided here. Washoy needs to go deep, find both kills. He's been fragging out like crazy, straight into the Grishmop mine. But prone around the corner, he's found by Akayu. Kinotrope, well, they got their first defense. And it's time to lock in.
Not sure that SCARZ underestimating Kinotrope, but that round certainly was a lot more difficult than I thought they expected. That is the thing, if Kinotrope can mentally stay in this, keep fighting back and playing the map of border the way you have to, fight for map control, they have a really good shot here. The clash, again, as I said, great for slowing down the game, stopping a rush, stopping a push. Even if in this round it wasn't the most instrumental operator, it does limit what SCARZ can and cannot do in a given round. I love the doubling down on traps, Lesion and Diella. Cap Cannon this round being brought out as well. And the Lesion for both teams is just finding incredible amounts of value. SCARZ, they kind of have two different playstyles they can opt for. Maybe, let's say 3 different playstyles. They can play, regular border attacks where you take the map control, you push on over, you roam clear into bomb site. They can do it with and without the shields. That's 2 playstyles. Then they got the direct bomb site attacks, the rushes if you will, which is completely doable because you have Dokkaebi, Sense, Glass, Grim, Ying, and you still have a shield and blitz and fuse. And border is probably the most rushable map in the entire Pro League map pool right now because every bomb site has external direct access, either it being a window, a door, or a breach. So SCARZ have different paces they can choose between right now. Fast, medium, or slow. It's just a matter of figuring out which one is going to work the best against Kinotrope. That starts right here in the first phase of the round. Discovery. You're droning in the action phase, clearing utility, thinking, okay, there's a guy in CC. Guys, are we going to clear that guy or are we going to leave him be and go somewhere else? That's the first question you got to ask yourself. Typically, what you really want as an attacking team is E-stairs control and security control. Having those two at your disposal makes everything else so much easier. But getting E-stairs control and CC control can be quite challenging.
Deimos and Dokkaebi, the Deadly Ds, come into power together. Now goes down. Damn. Acerola's feeling a hell of a lot of pressure at the moment. The Deimos is just around the corner from him too. He's just waiting. Oh, he flicked off the camera at the wrong moment. That's so critical.
Oh, no.
He was on that camera just watching. But he flicked to some others and he didn't realize that Acerola snuck right by him. Washoy might be able to deal a little bit of damage with the Twitch drone actually. Acerola is that low on HP. But still, that's a pretty rough outcome for SCARZ, considering that they had taken this control, and in theory, Agator was the one cutting that angle. Just timing was not on his side. I think if you slow down the footage, you'll probably see that Acerola did appear on his screen for a brief moment. Might not matter for SCARZ, though, if they can find control elsewhere, and that comes in the form of this top floor. It comes in the form of punishing an over-aggressive smoke at East Stairs. Yuki's falling without too much of a fight. Akayu's down in Archives too. He's dropped down into Workshop. Not likely he'll be revived, though. Carwow's in Bathroom. He's the closest player, but it'll be so risky to go for that revive right now. Is he going to go for it? Surely not. Nah, he'll be naded out.
Yeah. Played nice and safe. Confirmed that kill with a grenade instead. Last Dokkaebi call went out as well. Acerola still ringing. One player in Bathroom, one player in Customs. So no crossfire established, no teamwork can be enabled. With 40 seconds to go, SCARZ, I mean, they look like they're in a prime hatch drop position here, if anything. They're still doing some bit of verticality, scouting for information. Time could become a problem if they don't go soon. The benefit for SCARZ, Acerola down on like 1 bullet worth of health. Not really primed for a gunfight. But yeah, hatch trap here, surely it's going to be the play.
It's going to be late. It's going to be desperate.
Oh,
And
he's
it's going to be
waiting.
Carwow just waiting.
don't know.
SMG-12 in hand. The glass is active. The flashbangs come through. Oh, he fluffed the first one. Is there going to be a trade from up above? Washoy finds him.
5 seconds.
He needed to get a double there. Can he sneak on through and deny the plan? That's all he's got to do. Wreck to cover. He just comes in, swoops in when he's needed most. And SCARZ, my God, you'd be holding your breath for that one. But they do get the round on the board. A very critical attack here on border.
SCARZ wanting to play that round perfectly in the 4v2 almost ended up being the reason why they lost. They took all those extra seconds to do soft destruction, check the IQ scanner, toss out the smoke, toss out the flashbang, then they dropped the hatch. There were less than 2 seconds left when the round ended, so if that's the plan to going down and you sprint away, survive the verticality above you, you will win on time. SCARZ, they look good in the early stages typically. It's about their mid game. That's the big focus. They got the opening. They got CT control. They get flanked downstairs by the Lesion. Deimos dies early. Very important operator to keep alive rather for as long as possible to make use of those death mark trackers. Kinotrope are now playing heavy utility. They're playing ventilation workshop bomb site, but with a bit of a twist on it. Because typically you'll play top floor with the intention of holding that for as long as possible, then dropping down the hatches, and now you play on the bomb site and first floor. But because of the castle and mirror ban, they are likely going to play with the hatches reinforced instead. Then they're playing Kai Tuberau, so that they can just simply start top floor, fall back, and then because the hatches are reinforced, they can Kai Claw them, Tuberau trick them, and not giving SCARZ any easy way in towards the side. So they're fortifying the spot. Then they're doubling down with the bandit as well to deny the armory wall, hold on for as long as possible. If SCARZ don't recognize this and speed up their pace a little bit, time this round could definitely be a problem.
I just love it when the Japanese teams decide to cook when they've got some kind of an execute planned. C4 goes over, the E1D signals SCARZ are making their way forward and goes fish like a second nitro cell. Finds him, all up to Aegator. The round is flipped. Kinotrope did an excellent job to repel this aggressive attack. That nade might help Aegator confirm at least the first kill here onto Carwow. One slug lands. Eventually, the kill comes through for the attack. 2 more to find. This is a very winnable clutch.
Hatch is open as well, actually, so not as much of a turtle as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, this is
Crossfire here has to be solid. They're watching the walk-in.
good nade.
Great nade.
Oh, Aegator!
Oh!
Look at this play! Incredible nade, the spray, and the transfer onto the second one. He really is the GOAT. Rek is getting active in the oil chat. He can't believe it. Massive round for SCARZ, and it propels them onto match point 6-3. Wow.
Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker. 2v1, a great crossfire, the option to fall back, the option to reposition, and it comes down to a very tiny detail that is foresight. When you're in a 2v1, which operator are you up against? Deimos. Okay, has Deimos used any grenades so far? Well, we can count at least one, used on the Archives player just moments earlier. Does he have a second? Well, we don't know. And if you don't know, of course, you can stay in that corner or move away. Obviously, in hindsight, they should have moved.
Let's have a look at this one back. Nade, spray, transfer.
Boom, bang.
You see, Aegator is the only one that does not care. He's just locked in looking at his screen. Oh, man.
Bomb located by attacker.
Oh, that's
I
gnarly.
would have been more excited if I was a player. I'd been like, yo, you're
mean-
the best, man. Like,
Dude, it was like an explosive rush strat that didn't work, and then Aegator 1 versus 3s.
oh yeah, right. The third player before as well. Yeah. It's, I guess this makes up for the 4 versus 2 Taylor's defense for SCARZ, right? That was a bit of a throw on their end. Or 5 versus 3, I think it actually was even.
Attackers have dropped the bomb that has been dropped.
So they've thrown around,
Attackers
they've
recovered
clutched
the
around, Kinotrope. They're so happy to fight back and match them in the server when sometimes falling back might be the answer. They're gonna go fast again likely. Raora, Ying, Lion, Dokkaebi, 4 people outside Archives by the window and the door. We're gonna close off the door, maybe go for a deep take, just 1v4 the guy on sight. The smoke, perhaps. Cadella's going out. Toxic Babes didn't respond.
Wow.
Will they still commit? Yes, they're going in.
They're sending it. Choppy wants to find the kill, but the shotgun is not going to work
shotgun.
at that range. Yeah, I mean, a nice idea, but really, if you're playing shotgun, you need to be going sandwich. You can't realistically be trying to take the fight on the player in Archives. That said, Aega's actually got a great position now, because this wall is soft in Archives, which really exposes the very low HP Akayu, who's actually going to overpeak here. SCARZ
Oh my
also
days.
found Acerola. Double swing, though, from Kinotrope to retake, and that's what they needed to put down the clutch king. Yeah, not a great position for SCARZ to be in, but look, after last round, anything's possible.
No health on 3 players in the server. Arunige popped, Smoke injured from the vert downstairs, actually. If they can bait the revive, with Rek being inside, they can get a second kill here.
I mean, he's in such a good position, and this DMR is so deadly. The player on the floor is trying to bait for info. Rek actually gets a little bit baited into it. Oh, Washoy, your teammates had a 1v3. Can you get this 1v2 done? They know where he is. He knows where that first player is. He's got 2 flashes to work with too. He's on camera. He's got the bark. He can open up a lot of avenues, but no, on the peak with the flashbang, he gets exposed. Mao trying to fire up his team. A few claps for Kinotrope to bring this back into OT. 2 more rounds are going to be required.
But again, still, despite the early rush not working out and Kinotrope having significant numbers advantage, it still comes down to what I would say a very winnable round for SCARZ. A 2v3 with 1 defender being injured, it was still anybody's round until they finally locked it in. And bomb site rotations, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure the bomb site matters all that much. SCARZ has shown us fast takes on almost every single one so far. Tellers, I feel like it's the most stable in a lot of ways. You can play top floor, you can fall back, you got easy access towards workshop, you can extend across the map. The most important thing for me right now is that Kinotrope don't have like an isolated, really deep roamer. Let's say 1 guy in security with no backup. Because SCARZ are showing us every single round, they are sending 3-4 people to take down 1 defender or they'll die trying. Last round, there's 3 guys attacking Archives and 1 silly Smoke somehow surviving and getting like 2 kills. So I want to see Kinotrope saying, hey guys, I hear movement. I need a backup. I need a player on my body. Help me out right now. For SCARZ, they can keep up this pace and go fast. It's working half the time it isn't. Or they can switch it up. Go a little bit slower. Get a little bit more thorough with it. Try and get that opening pick and convert that into a lead and a round victory. Whereas when you're going fast, I mean, you might trade 1-for-1s or 2-for-2s or just hard to keep track of what's happening, really.
Yeah, it is. That's border for you, right?
Yeah. Boop. IQ Twitch combo. Find the Valcam, destroy the Valcam. There we go, through the floor. Find the Valcam, destroy that one as well. Good bit of intel deny. Whenever Valcam you kill and default as well, you're also weakening the 4 separate C4s that Kinotrope they are bringing this round. So a very clear plan using a C4 from Workshop or Customs perhaps to try and fish for a freebie. And it's why Rek's job is so important right now at IQ. They found 2 Valcams, they found the 90 default cam. So Kinotrope mostly flying blind with intel upstairs. Don't know where that 3rd Valkyrie camera is just yet, but we see 2 defender outlines inside of office. One by playing Fountain, one guy playing by that single reinforced wall. And East Stairs, you see it's very opened up. If attackers at East Stairs in control, it weakens the entire office portion. But SCARZ are showing no interest, despite that being completely free for the taking. They don't care. It's all about Armory, Archives, and Fountain Wall being mavericked right now by the attackers.
Oh, hello. That's a big nade. And it does convince him to walk backward. Yeah, he gets exposed by Rek. It could be the first of dominoes to fall Oh, he's so good on this second one as well. He knows exactly where this player is. Everyone from Kinotrope, one by one they fall. They deal a little bit of damage in their wake. Poor Akayu is on just a sliver of HP as he tries to get back to site. He's been concussed by the fire extinguisher and he's just around the corner from that sneaky little player, the Dokkaebi, making his way forward. Carwow holding down the fort in Bathroom, but it comes down to a 1v2 for the Warden. Fish like an alligator on the verge of knocking out Kinotrope from the APL. And Carwow's just waiting with the SMG-12, his phone ringing, let it ring. But Fishlike has snuck into position. The sound from these grenades has masked it, and he needs to win this fight, but he can't get it done. And Kinotrope cannot withstand the might of SCARZ. You might have said their eras have passed, but no, they are not done yet. And they got a date with PSG in the lower bracket.
They've done a great job working on this lower bracket run so far, bringing out layers, showing good performance, being good on both the defense and the attack. Kinotrope, not the stage 2 of last year that we all kind of were hoping for. Also not the first stage in this year so far. Having a weak group stage performance. Now in playoffs going lower bracket and falling to SCARZ the way that they did, not getting a single map. It's a tough one. I want to see more from them. I'm excited to keep supporting them, but there's something not clicking that they gotta figure out for the future.
Few things to work on for Kino, but right now the focus is on SCARZ. Man, how the mighty have fallen, but they have another chance at redemption if they can fight through the Koreans in the rest of this bracket, and of course, potentially the Brazilians as well. Rob, SCARZ get it done in 2.